Welcome to Witchcraft. This is Jason Mark Anderman. Today we're going to dive into all the issues you would really care a lot about if you're going to negotiate a sales agreement. If you're the salesperson and you're representing the company that's the selling entity, the vendor, first and foremost, you're going to think a lot about what are going to be your deliverables that are really the goods that you're going to be selling to the other party. And that's really the tangible stuff you're going to be giving. It's not a service. So if you were, for instance, helping out a client with a report about their manufacturing system and how to provide the results, any meeting you have with the client, any understanding or advice you give them, those are really your services. That report itself would be your deliverable, your good. And that's what you really want to describe in detail here. The biggest problem that vendors run into with their clients is if they don't set expectations properly as to the services and the deliverables that they're going to be selling upfront in the contract. This way, if for some reason the customer is confused and at a later point says, hey, you didn't give me what I contracted for, what I asked for, if you have a one-sentence description of what you're selling, you're kind of be out of luck in terms of convincing them that they're wrong and you're right, and you did give them what they asked for. So you want a good description here. Another big thing to think about is ownership, title, and risk of loss. And that's basically the point at which the customer is on the hook for the goods, the deliverables that you're going to be selling them. And what you want to think about is that going to be at the point that I ship it off my loading dock? Is it going to be at the point where it gets received by the customer? Or is it going to be after the customer has a chance to test it out, make sure it meets certain specifications, and they accept it? If there's going to be a deadline, you want to make clear exactly when you're going to make sure that you're going to complete delivery of the deliverables. It can vary. You can do days after the effective date. I like that because that way you don't have to update it every time the date changes. Or you might just skip it, but it's a good idea as well in terms of setting expectations with your customer. Sometimes, though, you can't really ship or set things up properly if the customer doesn't meet certain assumptions. So if you need certain cabling, you need a certain size room, you need certain resources by the customer to provide you, you want to spell those out in complete detail here. And what this a good contract does, a good sales agreement does, is it makes meeting these assumptions a condition precedent, that's what we call it in the legal game, to you having to meet your obligation to meet the deadline. So if they don't meet the assumptions, you don't have to meet the deadline. Lots of different ways you can spell out a fee. You can do a flat fee. You can do a rate fee by the hour or by the day. You can do a guaranteed maximum fee, which is usually the lesser of a flat fee or the hourly or daily rate one. You might want to play around a bit with charging by the service or by the deliverable. And you might charge by the milestone as well. Payment schedules are really important. When you're going to get paid, you can do it by percentages of the overall flat fee, such as a third on signing, a third on receipt, third on acceptance. You can block it out in different ways, 4 payments instead of 3. You can also play around with monthly payments based on the services you're performing, based on your hourly rate. You can pay an overall flat fee upon delivery, acceptance, or receipt, and milestone achievements, or you can do different schedules for different situations. Conditions are really important. A customer might say, hey, whatever pricing you're giving me, I want you to give to all my affiliated companies. They might ask for most favored customer status, where you give them as good a deal on pricing as you give to anybody else. And you might also say, for instance, that the customer has to do certain things in order for you to provide the goods and services at the price that they ordered. If they don't meet their assumptions, then guess what? You don't have to charge them the price, and you can increase it. Cash flow can be an issue. You might want to give them a discount if they pay you really quickly. So if they pay you within 10 days, you might give them a 2% discount up front. And always make sure you know whether or not you're getting reimbursed for your expenses to plug into your budget. You want to think long and hard how long your warranty is going to be, 30 days, 90 days, a year, might not even do any. And then always, 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 as a seller, you're thinking about limiting your liability. Customers care about indemnification. You care about limitation of liability. Thanks for your time. Enjoy using Witchcraft.